All right, guys, welcome to the Game of Fitness podcast. This episode, what we're doing a member spotlight. We got Tyson here with us. He was a fun one to have in, especially for our first one because we go back, 11 years now at this point. And the journey I've watched him go through, but then also, a lot of the experiences I've had with him have further even propelled me and where I'm at in my fitness. So we've kind of been able to watch each other go like this as we've gone through the waves. But yeah, so welcome Tyson, and um, tell us a little bit about how you and I forget, like we kind of talked in the beginning, prompt him, but like how you and I met 11 years ago at this point.
So my wife got me into this thing. No, she said you got to meet this trainer. Come with me to one of my training sessions, I think it was at Anytime Fitness. And 11 years ago, I was a lot younger. But I hadn't worked out in a long time, so I was like I'd done like just bro gym stuff like bench, curl, jog, bike, things like that at my own pace. So getting into a professional gym setting was different. And I think the first day I threw my back out. Yeah.
I tried to forget that when you said that. I was like, that happened not with me, right? That happened somewhere else. Like, no, that was with me. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it's probably the first squat I've done in my life or something like that. I don't know, but the best part about it, I think, that what propelled me into the working out with you is that you're like, we're not gonna end it like that. Rest up, come back in a week, and we're gonna get this thing right. We're gonna get you strong again. You're gonna be able to do this whole thing. And sure enough, I did. And here I am, 11 years later, many injuries later.
Yeah.
I'm still still at it. So
It's actually kind of funny with that. Him and I just did a little clip on the consistency about it, and like nothing happens in like the first 90 days. But then also like the injuries, like that's something I think about a lot. Is I think that like injuries for most people throw them off like immediately, and the minute they get that first injury, it's easier to think of the 100 things you don't want to do than the 100 you can do. But also, I tell people like injury rates for people that don't do shit are still like astronomical. Like I know a guy that is like morbidly obese and has knee problems and does nothing. So it's like you learn that as you're going through this process, there's still injuries and you keep showing up and like that consistency.
Yeah, and as we get older, injuries are more prevalent and more frequent in the process. And they're such a morale killer and momentum killer that if you don't if you don't have the right mindset or somebody to hold you accountable, like a trainer or just already in that lifestyle, it's so easy to once you get injured, kill that momentum and then just have a multi-month, maybe a year setback before you can get back into it. So,
yeah,
like,
they I've been through a lot of injuries, knees, ankles, heels, shoulder. And what it does, so it does kill. You want to go to a workout, you see the workout on the board, you want to be part of it, and you're like, can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. And if you don't have a proper trainer there to help you say, hey, do this instead of that, and you still get the same workout, it's not set just on that workout on the board. It kind of helps you okay, I can still work out, I can still do my own thing, and but still be a part of the whole group. So
exactly.
that helps a lot, and eventually you're gonna work through it. And what I've learned is injury is usually a result of something around that injury is weak that needs to be strengthened. And then you do other exercises to strengthen those things around that injury, and then you heal from it and move on.
Yeah, I think it was, how long did you go without running?
I didn't run from the moment when I was 26, leg injury, hit by a car, till first game of
the old location,
and that was pre-COVID. That was 7 years ago.
19, yeah, probably 2019. So, I still remember that video. That was, I think, one of my first social media posts.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you got to post more. And I one of the videos I took, I remember, is when the first mile he did. And I remember saying, like, how long has it been since you did it? And it was, he said 20 years.
Yeah.
So
that was big.
Yeah. No, but that I think that's one thing about like you that always I enjoyed being around, but also like you have that like motivating side of you too, where like you showed up. I remember like, and even though the injuries would pop up, and you've been consistent with that as long as I've known you too, is you still show up. You still show up regardless of what's going on. in your life, and whether something's hurting and you work around it. And I always remember, a lot of the workouts we did, you have that push in you, and it always made it a better environment to train in too. Coming from, I think even me, you probably get the same thing. You lose motivation, and there's many, many times I don't want to come in here, and I look at my phone and there's a message from Tyson. He's like, "I'm working out today." I'm like, "Shit, got to do it."
Yep.
And
Accountability piece.
accountability.
Yeah.
And that's kind of always, I think, been there with you having it too. So like with your journey with us, did any of that change with like your work-life balances and like your energy levels, confidence? Because I still remember you were like athlete of the month, like really early on. And do you remember that picture we had of you?
Yeah.
You had the beer. It was like
yeah.
St. Pete Beach.
St. Pete Beach, pre-working out. Yes, I do. And it's that's motivation in itself, right? And then I still look at pictures of myself when we were doing 100 burpees a day.
Ah, shit.
I was a lot different than I am now. So it was a drive to get back to that.
How long did you guys keep that streak?
We did it for 4 years in a row. Every December we did 100 burpees a day for the 31 days of December.
Okay.
Every day.
4 years running the month of December.
Yeah. It was the most fit we ever were.
Yeah.
Are we bringing it back this year?
We tried it. I think we turned it.
We did 100 push-ups.
Yeah, we did 100 push-ups, but that that difference, again, go to the mental side of it. Now we kind of look at each other and we're like, let's do push-ups instead. But in reality, man, like those, like probably some of the hardest days, you wake up and 100 burpees. And I think at one point, I think it was the last year we did it, I was like 900 burpees short on New Year's Eve, and I did all 900. I was in Chicago, and I think we were texting back and forth, and I would go downstairs in the middle of the party, and I would do like 25, 50, come back up. I'm sweating, be like, fuck this.
At a New Year's Eve party?
At a New Year's Eve party at my brother's house in Chicago. And I remember the kids were playing downstairs, and I would keep just ripping them out. And I ended up getting through it. And I was so happy I did it. The last 10, I think, I went out and I got my underwear, and I went out in the snow, and I did them in the snow, and I ended up cutting my foot on the snow. It was awesome. Yeah, that was always rough, man. We should bring that back this year.
I'm down.
I'll coach it.
Little role reversal. So talking about like the early challenges, I guess like what was like the first day you said you threw your back out, and then overcoming those types of challenges. Obviously, there's a lot of mental challenges, physical challenges that come along with a lot of injuries that we talk about. But I know, in addition to you being a member here, you have a lot going on in your personal life and your professional life. Husband, father, business owner. So, is there? And I assume this is the case, but the challenges, you overcoming challenges in the gym, kind of helps out with you overcoming challenges, say, with your business, and vice versa. So you know how hard it is to start and run a business, and you know the challenges that come along with that, and the perseverance and overcoming those challenges, and then you can think back and translate that to when you're having a challenging time here at the gym, or when you go into an injury.
I think it's inherent in people of nothing against any other profession, but professional, being a chef and restaurant owner, you really learn to embrace the suck. I was raised on 6 days a week, 14-hour days, and that was normal to me. So having a really shitty workout and getting through it and embracing how bad it sucks was kind of like natural, and I got it. Kind of like it's part of the DNA that I am. So that's why I think I'm okay with let's go do 100 burpees a day, or let's go carry a 100-pound ball over a crosswalk, or whatever we did that day. But there's things like that. Like, this is really gonna suck. One day we took the sled all the way down a mile, push and pull.
I think we had other stages. You were doing something else when you weren't pushing.
Yeah, too. Anyway. So those made it fun, So and then everyday life, the same thing. Like this morning, I woke up. I wanted to come in here. I went out last night, had a steak night, bunch of wine, and after dinner drink. So feeling a little foggy this morning, but I wanted to come in here and work out. Call from the restaurant. Hoods aren't working. 8:00 in the morning. I'm like, great. We'll get dressed, go to work, and
probably not feeling the
figure out a
greatest
way to get open for lunch. And that was my morning. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
it sucks. But
so embracing the suck has been like kind of instilled in you for a very long time.
So
there's also like you find that margin of like there's always a gap, and I think we run into that a lot. As you get people in here, and I get college kids. I don't have time. I don't have time, and I'm like, bro, like you don't even have a partner yet.
Yeah.
Now you got a partner and a full-time job. Now you got kids, a partner and a full-time job. Like you like you said in the beginning, you're a father, you're a husband, you're a business owner, and you're a business owner for something that's like massively time consuming, and you still figure out time to get it in. And I think that's always like the biggest thing I try to push here is there's always time, and people taking that mindset to put themselves first, even if it's like 1 hour a day.
Yeah.
So a lot of times you come in, you're in your work outfit, you got your shoes on, you change, you work out, and we'll watch you leave, and you're still sweating from the workout because you haven't cooled down, and you're straight back to the grind.
Yeah, you gotta do it. It's easy to fall out of it, but I think when you're in it, it's contagious, and you want to keep going. But you take that week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks off, it's hard to get back at it, right?
How many of those do you think you've had since you've been here? Like real bad drop-offs?
Real bad drop-offs? Not many. Long vacations. The way we go to Europe for 3 weeks, that's the hard when I get back, because I'm not even focused on it and getting back. Then you get back and it's like, wow, I'm really out of shape, and it's a killer. It sucks, but
And sometimes you can use that as motivation. The next time you're in that situation, you're going on vacation for 2 weeks. You remember how bad it sucked when you got back, how long it took to get back into the swing of things. Use that as motivation to maybe keep up. Maybe do a couple body weight workouts here and there while you're on vacation.
I should.
Remember that when you guys went on that cruise that one time?
Yeah, you worked
out.
And
you had the shirt on and sent us a picture, and but that's usually where, at least for me, I know when I'm on vacation, it's like the one time that I want to do nothing. Mm-hmm. And it's probably the most important time I should keep it up, but I feel like I'm like, I don't have to step into the gym. I've been putting in hard time and work, and that's where I just want to drink and do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, we still go hikes, go, on vacation traveling or going walking a ton. You're staying active. It's not just all laying on the beach doing nothing. So, but yeah, I think age is probably the second hardest thing. Because then it's hard. The older you get,
it doesn't get easier.
Yeah. No, 10 years ago it was a lot easier. Not 8 years ago it was a lot easier. 5 years ago it was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So.
But you're still in here.
Still coming every day. Now it's part of my life. So I think just being in here, just coming in.
I think you set the tone too, and maybe you could touch on that a little bit. But like you guys, I try to instill this in my own kids, but you guys kind of have like a family affair with this, where you come in, you got Sawyer coming in when Tanner's in town, Tanner's coming in, Summer's in here, and sometimes you guys come in as a group and you guys do family workouts. So I think it also like, especially when you have kids, it pushes into what they're doing, but when you have people that you want to ride that with, it just creates this atmosphere where you guys are all wanting to do it.
Yeah, you got to give them a taste of it. So hopefully it tastes good to them. And they want to come back.
Yeah.
But they're never gonna know what it tastes like if they don't do it.
Yeah.
So you can get Sawyer in here with you, and sometimes with you, he enjoys it once he's done. Getting him in here is the tough part, but afterward he feels better. See, you feel better. Once you get your body moving, it works.
Don't they say that? Like I don't think I've ever had it like where I want to work out, and if I don't go do it, I feel like shit. Mm-hmm. I usually don't feel good. But I've never had it where I show up and do it, and I walk out of there after, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Why did I do that? I mean, I get like it from a workout,
yeah,
but never like in a bad way where I'm like, I wish I didn't do that.
No.
It's never that.
You're never going to have that mentality like, boy, the hell's a bad idea.
Yeah, right.
It'll hurt sometimes, but yeah.
Exactly.
You can't walk, but mentally it's always a good idea. Right?
Yep. You mentioned, you're an OG member here at Game of Fitness. You were here since day one, 7 or 8 years ago, mm-hmm. right? And a lot of people that join gyms, maybe it's in January each year, they start but don't stick with it. You stuck with it for 8 years here, at least with Brad here in Game of Fitness. What made you stick with us here at Game of Fitness as opposed to not trying, like, testing out? I don't know if you test out community.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought about, when I was at my peak here and I was my best shape here, I would want to go check out other gyms just to see you never know what level you're at
Mhm.
unless you take yourself out of your comfort. So a new gym would like, should I go there just to see if am I, can I keep up with them or can they keep up with me or, what is Game of Fitness? And I never did it, but, it was always right there that I would always want to go check something out. But everything was always here, you know. The coaches have always been great. Um, we're good friends. Rachel and good friends. Outside of the gym, we're good friends. Our kids know each other. So that's a lot of it. But I mean, I just keep coming back and keep adding things like the whole sauna plunge, that whole thing, and it keeps growing. New coaches coming in, and so it's not just working out; it's more of it's community.
Yeah.
Now when I injure myself, we have how many different people to work on me and
Get you
back
up and running.
The beginning.
Yeah, no, the beginning it was just all right. Let's try this. But now this is good.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens, right? You start out, you get the minimal viable product, viable product, and then hopefully you continue to progress and add value to all the members and the staff alike over the years, which it.
Wait, what do you think? You're a new guy to this whole environment. What do you think about the workouts here? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. You've been in probably a million.
My answer, and I told him this, way back when I joined, it was the exact same thing. It was the community, but because I was testing out gyms as well, but I wanted to work at a gym, so
He didn't say that.
I didn't say that because I wanted to test out the gym to get the member experience, the vibe, as if I was a member here.
Yeah.
And I did one of those test classes. I think it was a Thursday.
Mine,
it was a Thursday class. Yeah, it was yours.
I remember that,
And I love that shit. I love like sucky conditioning. Like my heart rate's up. I'm challenged mentally. And I remember I was like competing with Jeff. We had that friendly competition, and I loved it. I mean, and overall after the classes, I'm like, yep, this is where I want to be. But really, the differentiating factor is because you can go get awesome workouts like at many other places, but the differentiating factor was the community. So it was the members and it was the staff. And then I knew after that first day, and then just that the following weeks just reinforced that.
Yeah. That was kind of always important for me. The community side of it, especially in the beginning. I mean, you've known our story since day one, but we weren't making money. I mean, it was tough. But we loved the people that were around us, and like he said, being friends outside of it, there's a huge group of this that we've developed here that are all it is like it becomes like a family. So that was always very important for me. That was a feeling here, and not just the workouts. Then the workouts, I started to notice that when we first started, I think everything was tailored off what I loved and enjoyed, and a lot of running and conditioning.
Shitload of burpees.
Yeah, and I was I'm fucking young and can get away with it. But then I started to notice too that not only I was getting older, but so it was our members. And so then it was also like being able to not only have that community and family around you, but also starting to tailor it to what we're all going through too, so it was just that first location I'll never forget, man.
So there was a first location before that. So Anytime Fitness, it was me, Alex,
Hannah.
I don't even think Amelia was even really into it back then. At any time, she every now and again, but and
Rob.
So I think it was Tuesdays or one day a week at any time. Like you just do your own thing.
Yep.
And it was Brad's boot camp or whatever it was. And the first time we walked over to the Tropicana parking lot, I'm like, what the fuck we doing over here? And there was all kinds of barricade things and the stuff you had us do. I'm like, holy Jesus, it's nuts.
That's it's like the opposite of what I think about when Anytime Fitness. So you go into the commercial gym, you got your selectorized machines, treadmills and stuff.
Yeah, he took us out Anytime, and he's like, okay, we're gonna. We took sandbags, we took all kinds of shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Those workouts there.
Yeah.
I mean, he created a workout out of a parking lot, and it was freaking hard.
Alex brought that up one time when we would do sprints up the hill. It was it wasn't a hill, but you know what I mean. It was it was an upgrade, and you had to sprint up with the bag and then do something back and then
horse jumps over the thing, and then I don't know. It was nuts. But then I'm like, okay, this is what the gym's gonna be about. He told me he's gonna do his own gym. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, that was always such a good transition. And actually, when we did open this, I think you were still kind of between both for a little bit, and then I think there was some shifts there,
Yeah,
and they
'cause
got
I
rid of
was
some
like-
classes.
I was like, I'll come here and there, but I told you that they would be like, I went in, I hurt my back or something like that. Well, you probably can't do this workout then. I'm like,
See you later.
okay.
I
Thanks.
remember that. And
Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess I won't do the workout then. I'll do it somewhere
I guess
else.
I guess I'll be going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look back at, and actually one of the first things we talked about this, and the first time you and I did the session, and I always knew that I wanted to open something, in my mind, and what I was like wanting to create really wrapped around the workouts in the community. And I just needed someone crazy enough to do it with me. And like you've known Rachel almost as long as you've known me.
Yeah,
Almost.
Yeah.
What do you give some like feedback on like Rachel's like style compared to mine, and like how, because in the beginning it was just me and her, remember that?
Yeah.
Like there was nobody else, like me and her coached every single class.
Yeah.
Then we got Courtney in, we had Amen in, but for the most part it was just me and Rach.
Yeah. But she's considerably younger than you, and a lot younger than me. It was back then, and she was more like a CrossFit style, I think, from what I remember. I haven't worked out one of Rachel's workouts in years. Sorry, Rachel.
I feel like she's still working.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember back that far. But
Rachel who?
yeah, she coached. But she was fun. She would be competitive with us, and she just had a whole other dimension to it. And she embraced the whole thing, the one motto I think you put up, actually one of your, it was be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that was like every workout. If you're not uncomfortable, then you didn't really do the workout, then, because you can treat a 400 any way you want, but if you don't push that 400, it's not what you're supposed to do. Right?
Yeah.
Get out what you put in.
So she
right?
kind of had that same mantra, and she would work as hard as she could, as just like everybody else.
That's something else I'd love to touch on with you, because that's to us, and not only building this, but like the classes you and I coach. I think one of the hardest parts to teach somebody is that being uncomfortable phase. Like, how many people do you see? And you don't even have to like just treat this like we talk about with just workouts. That mentality that creeps into your mind right away, that I can't do something, because you want to stay in that little pocket of comfort. You know what I mean? And we find that that's a huge struggle in explaining like why we program the way we do, and why our gym tries to be a little different. But it's not always about being in these comfort zones. So like, if you looked at yourself like before you started here, and you were doing like those strength, whatever you're doing, strength workouts, how much do you think has shifted with you with being able to be in that zone? And do you think a lot of that was like self-learned, or did you kind of learn that through your process here?
I learned it here. I mean, when I would do, we were members of Benoit, and I would go to use the gym there, and it was very air conditioned, and it was very, clean and very bright, and mirrors everywhere, and I would work to get a pump and maybe raise my, heart rate, and that was it. It never really sucked, because I would stop before it sucked, and I would, okay, it was a good workout, but I would never really be sore. I would never really, and then really, then I came here and I'm like, oh shit. But it was it's an adrenaline rush when it sucks, right? You did it, it was an accomplishment, and that's, never cheat, never, what was the one we had? What was her name? Oh God, I can't remember. But she would,
Try, maybe we leave the name off.
yeah, but
Yeah.
everybody,
you guys remember.
I got a guy I know pretty well.
that guy, he couldn't count. But yeah, they'd be like, oh, you just jumped it, But you could tell, because they would never change, and they would never get better. They never improve. So you're like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
They're shooting themselves.
Exactly.
Really,
Nobody cares if you finish a workout except for yourself.
Right.
So.
And I think that's the battle you're always in, is like, it is like you versus yourself. And the one specific story, you and I were working out, and I remember somebody saying something. It might even have been you, and I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm gonna see how many. And it was like 30 reps or something. 7 of them were done. I was like, holy shit. Like, I get like sometimes, like you maybe miss 2, whatever, 1, or
But you always in your mind you're like, fuck, I'm jumping in, so you over accommodate the next round. You're like, I need to, or it sticks with you, and then you just go. It's in life too. If you cheat everything, it's just gonna keep growing and growing and growing. So.
Yeah.
Right. No easy path.
No.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of this always carries over into like life lessons. We talk about not just being like workouts, but like how you are in the gym is usually like a really strong indication on how you are in life things too.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said, like the cheating and the comfort zones, right? If you find these pockets, there's probably a lot of shit you're doing like that and not challenging yourself in other parts of your life. And just being able to take that and apply it to all these different things is kind of why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Why not?
Why not?
You send me you don't send me as many as you used to, but you used to send me those crazy ass workouts that like let's try this one. And then he sent me one like a fucking week ago. It was a 500-meter bicep curl row.
Sitting on the rower.
All biceps.
So major pump.
I ended up texting him. I'm like, did you do it? And he's like, I made it 250.
Yeah, me and Paul did it. We did 250. Like, 500 would be a lot. But it worked.
So Troy was gonna, I know, touch on this with you at some point, but I kind of just said, you looking at yourself now, and I'll let you kind of further touch on it. But like, if you looked at yourself now, not even from like a fitness, because we've all aged 11 years since we first were working out together, and it's going to happen in the next 5 years, the next 5 years after that. But from a mental standpoint and a physical, I guess, like how much different do you feel in the last like 10 years and then like from the 10 years before that? Like, do you feel like you're continuing, even though you're aging, to be fit? Do you feel like you mentally are still where you're, wanting to be at? And is that always increasing still?
I mean, it's peaks and valleys, right? Like, I would say at my peak was in the photo that's out there somewhere, and I'm somewhere between that. I'm always ready to get back and do more. But it's stresses of life and things in business and everything else is on your brain that you just got to get back into. I'm in a different. I don't do the because where our kids are and how we get carpool and I can't get here for the 8 o'clock. Too busy to get here at the noon. So I just try to fit it in where I can. Where I was a lot more regimented, and I'd like to get back to being more regimented. But whether it's the 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I don't know. But that's all personal life that I got to jump around. It's not. So that's why I'm here like 9:32 every day. What time are you working out? I don't know. When I get there, it's like 9:20, 9:18. I don't know. It's
right.
not a number. I just get in here and try to get the workout done. At least 5 days a week. So
get it in where you can fit it in.
Yeah, and I don't work out as hard when I'm by myself. I know that. But if there's a workout up there, I'll do it. Like, I know pushing myself, what my limits are, and what I still try to make it suck, but. It's hard to do it on your own. Make it suck, because you like get an email or text, you're like, oh shit, I'm good enough today. And that's kind of where I am now, is because of all stuff in my life. It's busy, but I'm also like 11 years older than I was, and then you're like Dale and you're retired and you got all day. You can spend 3.5 hours in the gym. It'd be awesome to come in, work out, go do the sauna, do the plunge, do the whole thing. But then it's like this. And then you shower afterwards. It's a 2.5 hour day.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So I know, get up earlier, stop bitching.
No, but I think you're doing it. And if there's anything that like I am appreciating that you're saying is that like I really don't know many people busier than you and have more shit going on than you do. Like I feel like I have a lot of shit going on in my life, but I know that you have more. Yeah. And you still fucking get it done. And that is like the one message, if I could take that from you and give that out to everybody else, is stop the fucking excuses and just like you said, find that pocket of window to go in and do it, because like find the 5 reasons why you can't, and I can find the 10 why you can't.
And I know in the back of my mind, there's from the time I go to bed to the time I get in the gym, there's a lot of time. I can get up earlier, come in earlier. There's always excuses that I can come up with, but there's always options that I know that I could get it in.
You ever hear my story about that dude that came in the one time? He was probably like mid-40s, pre-diabetic, and he sits down in the chair and he's like, my wife says I gotta start working out. I want to be here for the kids. I want to like grow old with my kids, my grandkids, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool, man. So like, what's your schedule? And he's like, I work a 9 to 5, and I'm like, okay, well, get that. We have or till 4. I was like, we have a 5 o'clock and a 6 o'clock. He goes, I can't do that because I got kids and I gotta feed them, get them ready for school. And I'm like, I get that, understand that. We got a 6 a.m. class. He goes, I don't wake up early. I go, you're not ready. I got nothing for you, dude. If like that's if you're, health is failing and your one excuse is that you just don't get up early, I'm not going to be the one to save you.
When he's going to make that change, it's going to be too late at that point. But it's when, like his physical health starts to decline so much so where the pain of that outweighs the pain of discomfort of waking up early and getting to the gym.
He's going to have to start a regimen of rehab, and that's going to be where he starts his workout journey.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you see that, and then a lot of times even after that rehab, they sucker back. So.
Well, cool. This man, time really does fly, doesn't it?
Holy shit! Yeah, we're
definitely over 20 minutes. That was our target. We're like 35 minutes. But I did want to say here, and I like to all our member spotlight to kind of ask the same question here, and I'm sure you have a ton of shit that comes to mind, but just asking one that stands out. If you could go back and tell your 21-year-old self one piece of advice, it could be fitness related, mental, discipline, any aspect of life. What would you think would be one of the most important pieces of advice to go back and tell 21-year-old Tyson?
Well, 21-year-old Tyson was working 14 hours a day, 6 days, sometimes 7, and not leading a healthy lifestyle. I was, I would work 14-hour days, and I'd go out with the staff after that, and I'd come home and do it again and again and again. I was the most unhealthy kid you ever saw. But it was all work related. Like everything was my career. Everything was being a successful chef, and that was so. Yeah, I would say to myself back then, fit it in somehow. Fit it in.
Yeah.
Get fit it in somewhere, because going home and what I did back then was not healthy, and I had a harder time at work because of it. I was drinking like a 2-liter Diet Coke a day, smoking cigarettes and just doing whatever I could to like cope with embracing the suck of how much I worked. I know if I would have, I have more energy now because I work out. Where back then I thought I needed sleep instead of. I think working out definitely gives you more energy. The more obviously the healthier you are, the more energy you have. You're able to get up and do things.
So like you understand the balance a little bit better than.
I didn't understand it back then. It was all work, 100%. That was it. And for years I did that. So yeah, that would be a 21-year-old self to 29-year-old self, 30-year-old self. But that was like when high school I just did like stupid workouts, lift weights, and then once I started my career, workouts didn't have. I didn't think about going to the gym.
You're all in.
And I think that's a good way to end it, is that you can do it all. Like you can be healthy, you can be a father, you can be a husband, you can be a successful business owner. You can do it all. And it's all gonna we got days, but I think that it's you're learning how to like you show up for everything, and I think that even becoming a brand new father again, I'm still finding ways to show up for the 100 other things I'm still having to do. I think that you have to do it. So, well, thanks for doing this with us, man. And I just wanted to have a big thank you and say not only thank you for being my friend and trusting in me and believing me, but for being a part of this community since day one. Thanks for always being there, and maybe we'll be having this again in another 10 years talking shit about how bad this first podcast was.
I thought it was good personally.
It was just minus over by
maybe the production value, but you got to start somewhere. Exactly. Appreciate you being here, man. Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.